I've had something on my mind for the last day, and it kept me up last night, and actually it's been something I've thought about over the last few weeks and months. I don't usually do these talk videos because usually when I watch people do these, it makes me uncomfortable because they're so busy checking themselves out that I'm not really focusing on what they're saying. So I'm going to try not to look too much at the camera. The thing I've been thinking about is colour and how it plays into the way we live our lives and the way I live my life. And I want to start talking about it more. You'll see on my Instagram every now and then I'll post a picture which is mostly like my shoulders and my arms, not much further down than my nipples. And I will say my brown skin or my beautiful brown skin. And that is how I feel. I love my skin. I love my skin color. I think it's beautiful. And the reason why I can say that, it's not an arrogant thing. It's just, for the longest time, I hated my skin color, especially when I was a kid. And it's something I talk about in the book, my book, where I talk about the fact that I bleached my skin, and the press really picked up on that and made it sound like I still bleach my skin. I don't. I bleached my skin when I was 10 for a few days because I felt the pressure, and it wasn't just white society, it was my own community that made me feel like I was too dark to be successful, desirable, marriageable, to get a job. In my culture, when you are dark skinned, you are seen as less than. The lighter you are, the fairer you are, the more attractive and desirable you are. And then it really made me think about this industry that I'm in, or maybe just the world in general. I see the people who are cast as leads in movies or in music videos, and it's always somebody white, or every now and then somebody black, but it's never somebody South Asian or Middle Eastern, and it's been bugging me, thinking, when were we discounted? Like when were we discredited and seen as non-sexual, non-desirable? Like we can play the terrorist or the taxi driver or the hyper-educated doctor or the cute friend, the sweet friend, but we're never seen as the desirable lead. We're never asked to do anything sexy because America's not ready to see you as sexy, the world's not ready to see you as sexy, or vulgar, or naughty, or any of those things that Caucasian people get to be, or some black people get to be in this industry. And it really has irked me for a while now, and it actually really pisses me off. And I was thinking of a situation I was in not too long ago when somebody I know was asked to do something that would have been seen as sexy, and I was thinking, there are a bunch of other people of colour here that are equally attractive. Why wouldn't you ask one of them? And I think it's very clearly an unconscious bias. I don't think this person who was asking them to do this was trying to be offensive or racially biased. I just think that that's what society is trying to do, and now I'm in this position that I'm in. I want to try and find a way to change that up, and for people to see that we have desires, we can be desirable, people of colour are equally beautiful to anyone else, and a lot of it stemmed from something I saw on Four Weddings and a Funeral. It's Mindy Kaling's new show for Hulu. If you're in a different country, not America, I don't know where you'd find the show, but in America it's on Hulu, and they cast a young, I think he's Indian or Pakistani. Don't be offended, you guys, if you're Indian or Pakistani. I'm Pakistani, I can't tell the difference. Same, as far as I'm concerned. We were all part of the country, same country at one point. So don't be offended, calm down. But he plays a Pakistani in this show, and Natalie Emmanuel is one of the leads, and she talks about how much she fancies this guy and how hot he is in the first episode. And I remember thinking, I've never, ever seen this before. Other than, actually, I tell a lie, there is one other time I saw it. It was Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham cast Riz Ahmed as her fuck buddy. And I remember then also thinking, wow, that's groundbreaking and that's amazing. But it was shocking because I'd never seen it before. And then when I saw it as more than that in Four Weddings and a Funeral, it wasn't just somebody she wanted to sleep with. It was somebody she found really sexy and she also wanted to date and she wants to be with. And it really got me thinking, I've never seen this before. I've never heard anybody class my people as desirable. And it really got on my nerves, and I thought I want to find a way to change this conversation and for people to see my people as complete people, not just this one idea you have of them. And I want our people to be seen as desirable too. I'm not just talking about South Asians, and Middle Eastern people, like South Americans too, darker skinned black people too. I want to start talking about this more. I want people to start thinking about this more and how offensive it is to us that we are discredited or discounted just because we are not pale or fair. And I know this may sound ridiculous because I know I'm not dark-skinned, but in my immediate family and community, I was very much dark-skinned, and I was seen as the literal black sheep, and that was problematic, and the pressure to be pale was insane, and so yeah, I'm thinking of how I can get more involved in this conversation and speak up and use my voice and my platform. So there you have it. That's what I've got to say for now. I know I'm going to continue on with this. You're going to hear a lot more, whether you like it or not. You're going to hear a lot more.